with nearly 900 plus amendments since its inception, GST law has been more and more complicated as it progressed. So it's actually brought up as a simplified act, but if you see, it has been amended so many times. There are so many complex issues that have arisen since its beginning. There has been changes in the rates of taxation, the process flow of how it is going to be actually in the part of return filing and other things, other aspects of GST. So there are so many amendments, and currently people are facing with a different issue which is connected to GST registration process. So this is something connected to the verification and authentication of the GST registration in terms of the signing authorities who are there, like the promoters and the partners and other such people. So in today's video of Commerce GYAN, we are going to see this certain specific authentication issue and GST registration process flow and the change that has happened on 3rd of March to this particular process and how you should be going about the process of this registration if you are opting for the GST registration and the upcoming time periods, or you already have done and you're stuck in this particular case. So let's first of all see what exactly is the complexity of the issue. So basically, this is connected to the biometric authentication, as I told you. If you are going for GST registration, you have two options to authenticate your registration. So when you put up the application, you can authenticate by two methods of registration. One is by the OTP method, which we normally do. We have a verification, an OTP number is sent, and with this, you can do the authentication. The second part is where you can use the biometrics. So biometrics method is something which is an optional method, but is very important and suggested in certain cases. Now, what cases it is required and it should be done, this also we'll see further in the video. Now, what is this biometric authentication? It is basically if a person is, let's say, in Uttarakhand. So the complexity you can see here is if you are based in Uttarakhand and you want to do your registration in Maharashtra. So the registered place of his business will be Maharashtra. So in this case, what happens? He needs to register for GST in the state of Maharashtra. This is what is the rule. So basically that will be beneficial in terms of input tax credit and other such benefits also. So if he wants to do business from Maharashtra, buy and sell over here, the best way is that he does his registration in Maharashtra itself. So basically here we will find that the director or the partner or the promoter as such needs to visit Maharashtra. For what purpose does he need to visit? Is basically for this biometric authentication. So the GST biometric authentication will be done in the state of Maharashtra, not in Uttarakhand. So though this is a centralized GST system, and actually logically, technically, what should be done is wherever you are located, there should be a GST office in that state, and so you can go there and actually do the authentication, right? And once it is authenticated, it gets updated in the system of Maharashtra also. But till now, this is something which was not happening, and that was the complexity. So what used to happen? So at the GST Suvidha Kendra, if you're going also, that GST Suvidha Kendra would be in the state of the registration. That means if you are going for registration in Maharashtra, you have to visit Maharashtra, you have to come down, fly down from Uttarakhand or travel from Uttarakhand to Maharashtra and then get the biometric authentication done. So a lot of delays, a lot of transport charges and waste of time, energy, money, everything used to be there in the past. So till now, the process was like this. Then now, should I choose a biometric authentication? This is what will be the question in your mind, because if there is so much of complexity, why should I go for biometric? I will go for OTP registration only. This is what you would say. In small registrations and proprietary or like the scale of business is not so much, or if you're not registered as a partnership, private limited company and all, you don't need biometric verification because it won't be a big issue. So if your turnover of the business is not too high, you don't have a limited company as such registered, then it's fine if you go for a normal OTP verification. But if tomorrow the department raises some question and query about the authentication of your registration itself, that means they feel that the GST registration is just taken up for the purpose of availment of input tax credit, then you will be in trouble because you don't have the database of this biometric authentication, where there will be a physical verification done by the person who is actually coming to the GST Suvidha Kendra and doing the authentication. So if the promoter has not come down and shown that his physical existence is there and he's not doing it just for the case of ITC availment, then he will be in problem if a departmental inquiry or something is, if at all the department raises query in terms of authentication of GST registration. So, taxpayer basically needs additional evidence in terms of proof of existence of business, and that's why bigger clients, normally we as chartered accountants or any person who is helping out on GST matters, will suggest that large taxpayers or larger organizations should go for the biometric authentication. So this method now has been eased out on 3rd March 2025, but there is a certain, again, there is also something which the department has held as no, in such cases you are not allowed to do it. So what is that negative aspect, or what is the problem area still prevalent even after 3rd March? This we'll see at the end of the video, and also we will see the process how you're supposed to do the biometric authentication. So, government has released an advisory on 3rd of March 2025. This states that new authentication of certain persons can be done in your home state by certain persons. Now, who are these certain persons who are allowed to do that authentication? This is what we are going to see next. So, everybody is not allowed to do the authentication. So, only these people, individuals listed in the partner or promoter tag, when you're doing the application for registration, if your registration application states you as a promoter or a partner of that particular organization, the public limited company, private limited company, or it's an unlimited company, foreign company, then you will be allowed under this concession. Now, even all of these promoters and partners are not allowed. So, who are not allowed? If you are the primary signatory in that particular application, then you are not allowed this concession. You have to go to the state in which you are actually doing the registration. So, if you are from Uttarakhand, you're doing the registration in Maharashtra, you will have to go to Maharashtra for the authentication, the biometric authentication. So, the concession does not hold good if you are acting as the primary authorized signatory. So, remember this part. Then what is the process? Process is basically, if you are doing the application, you receive an email where the promoters or the partners will be given the option to select the GSK, the GST Suvidha Kendra. Then the GST Suvidha Kendra will be selected. Then again, you get an email. So basically for these states, UP, Assam and Sikkim, you don't have the facility yet. So once the GSK is selected, then you get another email. And this email, what you have to do is you have to choose the slot, the time slot in which the booking has to be done for your authorization. And once that is done, then the next step is basically you can do the authentication by going to that particular GST Suvidha Kendra. Okay, so this is the process for the biometric authentication. Now, this is something which is optional, but in larger cases, the bigger organization must go for this particular option, even though it is complicated right now and the government has not taken care of the issues that have arisen in the registration by way of biometrics. So, though it is a necessary process, it is made so complicated that people think twice before opting for biometric authentication. So, this is still a complicated process if you are a primary authorized signatory. If you are not a primary authorized signatory but are in the list of the signatories or are in the list of the promoters and the partners of that organization, you can do it by biometric at the GST Suvidha Kendra of your home state. So hope this video helps you in understanding the little bit complicated process of biometric authentication and who are having the benefit of concession in the GST registrations. Just in case you find this information useful, do share it. And also at the same time, if you have not joined the journey of Commerce GYAN yet, do subscribe the channel and press the bell icon so that you can get the notifications as and when we upload the videos. Thank you.